All right, so before I start this, let me say as a little disclaimer, you know, I think JD from New York, at least before the anti Vince shit and before the shit that happened last night, which I'll get to later, I thought that he was a very entertaining YouTuber and he's a very passionate fan. Let me just say that. And, he used to be a big inspiration for me to actually start my YouTube channel. I used to watch his videos a shit ton last year. And yeah, no, I liked what he had to say about things like AEW, the Vince McMahon situation, how he had the balls to say what other people didn't really have the balls to say. But with that being said, I feel like now he's become insanely toxic in a sense, where everything that is wrong in the WWE has to be because of everyone's favorite punching bag, Vince McMahon. And I know everyone who is an old watcher of my channel will be like, oh, but Will, you ranted about Vince McMahon too. Everyone has fucking ranted about Vince McMahon at one point in their life, but no one as much as JD from New York. Like, everything bad that happens in WWE has to be because of Vince McMahon. Vince booked this, Vince booked that, blah, 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 blah. Because heaven forbid, people can't book bad shows. Like, I used to be the biggest Triple H supporter, but even I can admit all of Triple H's returns have been shit. But I'm getting off topic. Why am I making this video about JD from New York if he used to be a big inspiration for me to start my channel, and if I think he's a very passionate and successful YouTuber? Well, like I said earlier, it's because he's gotten a lot more toxic, especially on the Twitter space. And I think what happened last night about the Shotzi segment last night on SmackDown really, really, makes my point. So last night, as a lot of you might know, Shotzi had a segment last night on SmackDown, and like a backstage little promo segment, whatever, of her shaving her head. And as confusing as it was, okay, she shaved her head. Cool. JD ends up tweeting being like, oh, why would they have Shotzi do that? That's such a Vince move. Oh my God, I can't believe that they would have her shave her head. And it's not that big of a fucking deal, right? Rose Namajunas, one of the biggest UFC people, has a shaved head. But this isn't the UFC. This is WWE. So whatever. And then it turns out, like, right after the segment aired, Shotzi came out saying, that her sister has cancer, and her shaving her head was because of it, because she wanted to support her sister who has cancer. A lot of females do that. A lot of, everybody's done it, Shave your head to support your family member who has cancer. So, what does a normal man do in that response? Apologize, take the tweet down, be like, oh, okay, I didn't know, I fucked up, I'm sorry for assuming that. Nope, not big old JD from New York, the IWC savior, the man who has the balls to say what other people don't have the balls to say, instead doubles down and is like, well, how the fuck am I supposed to know that? I don't live on Twitter 24/7. Meanwhile, my man is live tweeting. Whenever something happens on the show, who's the first one to tweet about it? JD from New York. So it's like, not everyone knows the situation firsthand. But I'll tell you one thing I didn't think of when Shotzi shaved her head, that it was a Vince McMahon move. So, my man didn't never even apologize and instead proceeds to attack the fans who, you know, naturally on Twitter, you'll get the people being like, apologize right now. Apologize because of Shotzi's sister who has cancer and she shaved her head because of it. JD's like, well, I'm not apologizing for shit. I don't like the segment. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm not deleting. I'm not apologizing. And then my man, 40 years old, this guy, right? This guy's 40 years old. Double my age. Proceeds to say the most Fortnite lobby shit. Go touch some grass, you basement dwellers, or something like fucking that. Like, bro, shut the fuck up. You know? And that was when I was like, are you fucking kidding me? You couldn't have at least acknowledged that, okay, I'm in the wrong. The guy who calls himself the most honest guy in the IWC. Like, can we be real here? So that's him on Twitter being like, oh my God, like, you know, oh my God, it's Vince. And then people call him out on it being like, no, it's not Vince. It's actually because Shotzi's sister has cancer. And then he's like, well, I still don't like the segment, so what I say goes. Like, are you fucking kidding me? So he then proceeds to go on a huge blocking and response tangent. He limited his replies and all that shit. And then he proceeds to tweet out being like, I've upset a lot of people on Twitter. It's fucking sad. Tune into my stream and then you'll get some real content or something. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, the most honest guy in the IWC can't admit when he's wrong, right? So he goes and does his 2-hour fucking SmackDown stream, which is like, you don't need 2 hours to review a show. If you're gonna do that, at least do a watch along, right? But I guess he doesn't want to do that. And then he goes on a tangent, and his main points are like, of course, well, how the fuck was I supposed to know that? I don't know. You're on social media all the time as much as you say that you're not. Your job is literally being on fucking social media. You can't say that you're fucking, you have a life or something like that. And even then, no one knew when the segment aired. So it's like, at least people, like, I've saw people assume that it was a Vince thing or being like, oh my God, why did this happen? Why did Shotzi just all of a sudden shave her head? And then as soon as they found out that Shotzi's sister has cancer, it's like, oh, okay, that's right. Oh, that's why. Okay, I'm sorry. Not big old JD from New York. He wants an excuse to fucking rant to the fans. Or should I say, quote-unquote fans, because the only fans he has left are the fucking toxic members of the IWC community and the most delusional people in the IWC. Like, and yes, I know I'm ranting myself because I used to go on a big anti-Vince train too back in the day. Like, but I've learned to fucking live with Vince and creative. He's not leaving until he's in the fucking grave. Okay? But it's like, still, admit when you're wrong, bro. And then he goes on this tangent being like, oh, well, Shotzi's not going to be a star in WWE anyway. She's going to have this feud with Bayley, and then she's going to be nowhere. And especially since she has no hair, Vince won't book her right because WWE is a looks business. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, all this because you got called out because you were wrong? Everyone gets called out for being wrong, especially in the wrestling community. It's something everyone goes through, myself included, numerous times. I'll tell you something. I will never, ever insult the fucking fans for coming to me being like, hey, this is actually why Shotzi shaved her fucking head. My man's doing all of this because a female wrestler wanted to shave her head to support her fucking sister, and he uses it as an excuse to bash Vince McMahon. Like, we fucking get it. You don't like Vince. Every tweet from this motherfucker, every video, every thumbnail, every title It's always Vince, 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 Vince. I hate being one of these Twitter guys, but he's got Vince living in his head rent fucking free. And you can only go through that so much. I haven't watched a JD video pretty much ever since March, I want to say. When I really started to get big on here. And here's the fucking thing. JD and his delusional fans may or may not be watching this video, right? And they're going to do either one of four things. Number one, they're going to make fun of my appearance. Oh, boo-hoo. Oh, well, it's ironic that this is an audio-only video because you're so ugly. Oh, wow. Not like I've ever been on Twitter before, right? I've been through that dance before. Two, they're going to make fun of my channel being small, right? Oh, wow, you only have 700 subscribers. You're just talking about JD for clout and clicks and to put his name in the title and his face in the thumbnail. Again, no. Ever since I've had fucking 20 subscribers, I've been calling out toxic and idiotic people in the IWC, even people who I used to be fans of. Case in point, JD from New York. 3, they're going to pull the most Fortnite-esque insults known to man. Touch some grass. You live in your mom's basement. You do this. You do that. Blah, 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 blah. Fucking who cares? Or 4, I'm just going to get blocked on Twitter, which I expect, right? Whatever. You know? Oh, and his fans are going to come in and dislike bomb the video and fucking call me a virgin, blah, 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 blah. Like, who fucking cares? You know? I do this to fucking call people out. That's it. You know? I call out people who I see are as toxic, and especially after this, like, it's fucking stupid. Like, this guy then goes on a tangent in his stream and is like, well, at least someone posted on Twitter being like, I never want to be a wrestling podcaster like JD from New York. Like, that's the worst type of wrestling podcaster or something like that. And then JD from New York is like, well, at least I'm successful. I get paid more than pro wrestlers turning into podcasters. At least I'm successful. At least I get paid for what I do. At least I have people tuning into my streams weekly. Congratulations, buddy. You're a YouTuber. You got people who tune into you. You have over 1,000 subscribers, which means you can get paid from YouTube. Congratulations. Like, I've never seen anyone so delusional in my fucking life, you know? And I've seen a lot of delusional people, especially in the online space, right? And I know everyone's going to be like, well, you used to be a fan of him. Yeah. And then I opened my eyes. So if you're going to hate this video, you're going to hate this video. But it's like the least JD could have done is apologize for getting the Shotzi thing wrong, and then he dug himself an even bigger fucking grave by attacking the fans, being like, well, I wouldn't know. Oh, you guys need to fucking touch grass, and oh, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I'm successful. I don't have time for this, and all that jazz. Bro, you could have just said, I didn't know, but I'm wrong. I'm sorry. Holy fucking shit. Not that hard. But anyways, I know this video is going to get a ton of hate. I don't give a fuck. Subscribe if you're new. If not, I don't give a fuck. And if you are going to leave mean comments and do what you do, I promise I won't block you on Twitter. So that's my thing on it. JD from New York is absolutely fucking delusional. And yeah, I'm not gonna waste any more of my breath talking about him. I just thought I'd go out here and just fucking rant on this guy. Literally. Wish Shotzi's sister a speedy recovery. Yeah, this has been your boy, Willie Does Wrestling. I'll see you in the next video. Be good people, and peace.